Konbanwa everyone, Jake Kavanaugh here. So tonight we are going to be starting our 20th anniversary videos for Pokemon. Yes, that's right, Pokemon Red and Blue came out in Japan 20 years ago. So what we're going to do is a 3-course entree for each Pokemon. I'll be representing the Bulbasaur line, so I'll be doing a soup to represent Bulbasaur, a salad to represent Ivysaur, and the main course to represent Venusaur. For the start of the main course, we are going to do a broccoli and potato soup. So let's go ahead and get our broccoli sauteed off. Season with a little salt, pepper, and because we're using potatoes and broccoli, I thought butter worked best. If you want to use oil, that is totally fine. An interesting thing to note about this entree, or 3-course meal, is that it's going to be strictly vegetarian. I figured since Bulbasaur was the plant starter, it makes a lot of sense to just stick with vegetarian type stuff. So anyway, broccoli is sauteing right now. Now this 3-course meal can also be gluten-free. Now, the only thing that's going to make it not gluten-free is the fact that we're going to dust this with some flour to make our roux. Now, if you are on a gluten-free diet and you want to make this gluten-free, what you can do is you can add some cooked rice to this, because at the end we're going to burr mix this. So you can just burr mix some rice in here and that should thicken it up. But you know, of course, just make sure it's cooked in there just like you would a roux or a cornstarch slurry. We're not going to use too much. If we must, we'll make a roux on the side. But just go ahead and dust it with the flour, and that mixed with the fat and the oil should make a little roux. So we have our potatoes cut. Now they're kind of big, but that's okay because they get very soft once they're cooked. So we're going to go ahead and add those. Next we want to add our heavy cream. I have a cup of it right here. We can always add more if we want, but this will do us just fine right here. And normally you want to barely cover the items in here, because if you cover too much of them with liquid, you're going to have to let it reduce and you're going to have to add a lot of things to thicken this. So if we just barely cover the top, that'll make the thickening process much easier. So now that we've added some more vegetables in here, I'm going to add just a touch more pepper, touch more salt. We'll take care of the taste towards the end, and we'll go ahead and add a little bit of garlic salt. Alright, so we're going to bring this to a soft boil for about 10 minutes so we can let our potatoes cook. Alrighty, now that our stuff has started to boil, let's go ahead and burr mix some of this. So the potatoes made it a little too thick, which is fine, we can recover from this. Just add a little bit of water, which means we'll have to season it some more. So let's go ahead and add a little more salt, just a dash more pepper, and continue mixing. Alright, now that's still a little too thin, so we'll just add a touch more water. Alright, there we go. This is a good consistency. As you can see, it's not too thick, but it's not like water consistency either. So there we go. We got great color. I'm sure it has some great taste. Now let's go ahead and plate this up and make it look nice. Okay, so we have our bowl of soup here. Now there's a couple things you could do for a garnish. You could take 3 basil leaves, 3 nice looking basil leaves, and like put, you know, 1 here and then 2 pointing out. Like that'd look really cool. Keep in mind the heat is going to wilt it, so it'd be something you'd want to do if you were going to serve it right away. To give it some color, what we are going to do is a quenelle of sour cream. So what we're going to do, just take a little bit of sour cream. You don't want to do too much because we don't want it to weigh down and sink to the bottom of the soup. So here we go. Just put some in a spoon, scoop underneath, switch. Just keep going. Should get like a football-like shape. And there you go. And there we go. Just one will do. Obviously you want to do a little more to it if you can. If you have some parsley, you can maybe go over top. Like I said, even a basil leaf might even be a good addition to this. So here you have the Bulbasaur broccoli potato soup. Alright, so for the second course, Ivysaur, we're going to do a garden salad on top of iceberg lettuce. Now I chose iceberg because, just like how Bulbasaur's bulb opens up when it evolves, the iceberg lettuce should open up after we cut it in 4 ways. So this is going to be very simple. Just take some vegetable toppings of your choice. In this case, I just chose to keep it simple with some cucumber, onion, and tomato. The dressing is totally your choice. Whatever you think will look good. This is really digging deep here, if you even want to call it that, but I wanted you guys to pick your dressing because there's the expression pick your poison, and the Bulbasaur line is part poison. So that's what we're gonna do. So here is the Ivysaur garden salad. I'm gonna put a little bit of balsamic dressing on mine. Now that we've gotten through Bulbasaur and Ivysaur, let's go ahead and finish this off with the final form, Venusaur. Now a couple of things here. This is going to go with some mashed potatoes, and it's going to be, instead of a protein, it's going to be a pepper stuffed with rice pilaf. I've done plenty of rice pilaf and mashed potato tutorials before, so I won't be doing one for this video, but fear not, if you don't know how to make them or haven't seen my tutorials on it, you can click the annotations to the side of me, and you can go there and check it out. So let's go ahead and move on to the final entree. Okay, so for the, first of all, before I even talk about this, make sure your oven is preheated to 400 degrees. Okay. Yeah, now I know Venusaur is not the fire type, but think of it like Venusaur taking in sunlight energy for his solar beam. Anyway, let's move on to the food. So I've got a pepper here. I used a green pepper. Any type of bell pepper is fine. I chose green because, like I said, Venusaur is a grass type. So I just seasoned this with a little salt and pepper, paprika, and cayenne. You season it with whatever you feel like. You know, if you do something different, be sure to let us know below. And I have some carrots here. As you can tell, or probably tell anyway, I peeled them. And then what I did was I just cut them into sort of like rhombus shapes. Like, you know, you cut it once, and then cut it at an angle each time you cut it. So try to keep them consistent. We'll go ahead and put those in the oven with the pepper, and we'll cook those for 10 minutes. Alrighty, so let's move on to the sauce. We're going to do like a tomato cream sauce. Add some basil in it for more flavor, always recommended. So anyway, we are going to go ahead and center this pot a little more. Yeah, there we go. Let's go ahead and just put it on like a low-medium heat. Add a little salt and pepper. And then add a little pepper. Once this gets hot, we will burr mix this and set it aside as our sauce. Okay, so everything is all finished up, if the carrots should be fork tender and the pepper should be soft. You know, it's whatever you like. I mean, either way, none of these are gonna hurt you if you eat them like undercooked, but they will taste a lot better if you eat them fork tender. So anyway, see, I got the pepper resting on top of the potatoes. Got the carrots off here to the side in a nice little neat stack. And I put the rice pilaf in the pepper. So for the sauce, just get you a nice little spoonful. And just go like that. Do another one just for good measure. And here we have our Venusaur style entree. Have to get a better camera right. There we go.